finally gonna go on Yoichi's route, which is I've honestly been looking forward to go on his route since we went on Kuga's route. Sorry, Kuga, you were great, but we get to go with Yoichi now, so we're gonna decline your offer. So hello there, my name is Sibby, you can call me B, and welcome to Winter Switch. Woo! To be honest, I wanted some. I really wanted some. But to immediately derail my first job as an Oniwaban would not be good at all. You gotta stay focused. No, really, it's fine. It's my first day today and I want to focus on the mission. Is that so? If that's what you really want, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. Meanwhile, Yoichi seems to be silently observing our interaction. He looked between the tempura skewer in his hand and me, and then... Here. He's giving us his tempura! That's sweet of him. He slowly held out his tempura to me. Huh? This is... the tempura. And so anything audio-wise, if anything's too loud, too soft, please let me know, okay? Okay, great. I had extras. I ate enough already, so why don't you eat this one? Is he trying to offer it to me? I thought he was a glutton, but it seemed that he had at least some shred of consideration in him. I couldn't do anything but stare at the tempura. From this close, the tempura looked awfully enticing. The tantalizing fragrance of fried food and sauce, the warm steam rising from the tempura, and the bright color of the batter. But there's no way I can eat it here. I'm working right now. You said you can't eat while you work. There's no rule against that. What? You're such a pain. Here, open your mouth. Huh? Wait, what? In an instant, Yoichi shoved the tempura into my mouth, as if he wouldn't take no for an answer. Take it. Ah, look, no gag reflex. Good for you. Don't talk. Just chew. Why? Hurry up. He's way too forceful. Although I was confused, the inside of my mouth was already filled with the taste of tempura. With every chew, little by little, the light taste of the white fish and the crispness of the fried batter spread throughout my mouth. Delicious! It was incredibly delicious! Before I even realized it, I had completely finished eating the tempura. Yoichi, weren't you being a little too violent? Really? She looked like she wanted it, so I just helped her out. Honestly, she should be the one thanking me. So I shoved it down her throat, see? You're satisfied too, right? Now that you've eaten the tempura. Oh yeah, we were talking about tempura. Thank you. It was delicious. Ultimately, it was probably a good thing that he'd done that for me. For a little while, I basked in my bliss and reminisced over the taste of the tempura. Well, she looked like she wanted it. We met with a certain person at a traditional-looking brewery. I think this is red, so yay! All while I was thanking him to the best of my ability, Kuga stared at me curiously, because we already went on Kuga's route. Kuga, is something wrong? No, it's nothing. Even while saying that, Kuga never averted his eyes from me. I wonder what Kuga's thinking about. Nah, maybe there's a grain of rice stuck to my face? That would be embarrassing. I should get rid of it. She's a throat goat. When I touched my mouth, Kuga narrowed his eyes as if interested. You're a person of many mysteries. Ooh. We didn't have a moment that time because we're not going for you. So we're gonna go, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Initially, I came all the way to Edo only because I had orders from the shogunate. But I made a promise to myself that I came out all this way, and I'd do what needed to be done, so please don't worry about me. In order to earn his... Oh my god. AI viewer... Who would want fucking AI viewers? That's bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. In order to earn his trust, I tried answering directly. I wasn't sure if that could be called being prepared, but it was true. This was the only path left out for me. Then Kuga's eyes widened in mild surprise. You're thinking like a vessel. Oh my god. Huh? Really? That pragmatic attitude is not very human-like. It's as if you're saying your own heart is of no importance. Ah, now that he mentions it, that could be true. So is that what Yoichi's into? Vessel-like humans? I'm sorry, that wasn't a very good answer, was it? No, I don't mind. I was the one who asked if you were prepared. Besides, your way of thinking makes things easier. It seemed that Kuga understood me a little better after hearing my answer. No matter who the other person is, it's important to tell them how you feel, right? I want to build a relationship of trust with everyone in the Oniwa bond too. After we finished our break, we continued our watch while hidden in the shadows. We could skip this. Oh no, it's the Kamikiri slushy slushy! Uah! Is that a contradiction? Isn't that a contradiction? Upon hearing the complete opposite of what I expected, I accidentally voiced my true feelings. Huh? How so? Because the Blightfall are enemies, we have to get rid of it, right? So what do you mean by not courting danger? Wait, for starters, are Blightfall even the danger? Is there some hidden meaning to this? Thank you, Gareth, for the hydrate. Yay. Oh, maybe this is a riddle! As I asked the questions as they came to me, Yoichi let out a forceful breath of air. Did you just laugh? Yes, he did. Huh? I didn't laugh. I don't laugh. Huh? But you did. No, I didn't. Gaslighting you. Girl boss, gaslight, fuck, gatekeep, girl boss, gaslight, or something. I forgot what order that is. Then why did you breathe out like that, huh? Can a guy just breathe, huh? Because you were saying weird things. So you did laugh! You're just imagining things. Perhaps you're going crazy. I'm not imagining things! What a surprise! So he is capable of showing emotion. Despite the fact that his heart was sealed away, it seemed that they couldn't lock away reflexes. I couldn't help but feel excited at seeing this new side of Yoichi. Are we gonna try to try to poke at him to see if we can get him to react to stuff? He reacted. I must try to make him react more. Skippity whippy. Fighty. No, he's staring down at us. That is like a piece of shit. I'm like, oh my god. Glare at me more. Biharu. Let's have fun. I wish there was an option to just skip to the next choice, but this is fine. Why did the animation go so quick? Maybe like it skipped it? I don't know. In that case, why don't we just have fun today and forget about the mission? We even have permission. Permission from the mission. Don't have to tell me twice. That's my plan. When I said that to the two of them, Yoichi acted as if it was a given. Work hard on the job, rest hard when you're not. That's the secret to handling missions without burnout. I see. Yoichi says things that might come off as half-baked, but every word makes perfect sense. Huh? But in that case, doesn't that mean that you've already been having fun? No, it doesn't. Really? As we talked with each other, cheers starting rising from around us. We can skip that! Whee! Yep, he still gives us a knife. He's like, I know you were admiring the fucking hairpins. Here's a knife. This is the only option! Because this is the only option we have left, right? Gathering information isn't viable anymore. If we keep using the same investigation methods as we have up to this point, we'll never catch the Kamikiri. So I thought about it. Of a method that could definitely get us closer to the culprit. Damn, that's hot. Yoichi stared at me with his usual unfriendly expression as I choked out my confession. I slowly let out my breath in order to make a final point. Oop, wrong character. He like was like, oh yeah, I'm him now. But I cannot pull off this plan alone. Unless I have everyone's cooperation, we won't be able to defeat the Kamikiri. So please agree to help me out on this. My voice echoed in the quiet room. For the first time, I felt like Yoichi and Kuga's expressions changed just a little. But in contrast to them, Miyagi's brows furrowed. No, I'm sorry, but I can't allow that. I can skip that. I think she's like, I wanna fight. We're like, okay, now we're on Yoichi's route. No more skipping text. Sometime after things had died down from the Kamikiri case, Yoichi brought me to the Yanagi Brewery with him. Wait here. Okay. I've been here before, but I'm nervous today since I'll be introducing myself. That's right. They arranged for me to serve at Yanagi Brewery with Yoichi. Come to think of it, Miharu had mentioned to me that Yoichi was popular with a certain crowd. That had been one of the deciding factors, number one being... I'm back. Yoichi returned with a bunch of people in tow as I stood there thinking to myself. Amongst them were Yanagi, of course, in addition to several form folk. Oop. Why did that stop? What did I do? Ah, cool! Woo! That was alarming. It's like, oh shit, oh shit. My name's Soup, and I'll be helping out around here starting today. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Just ask if you have any questions. Uh-huh. Feel free to ask us anything at all. AMA. Thank you. I'm glad they all seem nice. My nervousness dissipated when I saw their warm welcome reflected not just in their remarks, but the color of their threads, too. Anyway, you must be all business if Yoichi's recommending you. Uh-huh, 'cause I'm not. You're the one to talk when you're constantly slacking on the job. Don't tell Yanagi! He's right here. What's there for me to say? Yoichi seems to get along well with the servants. Yay, that guy's gonna get fired. Although his tongue was as sharp as ever, he didn't seem to loathe being around them. I could tell this was a rare sight even though I hadn't known Yoichi for very long. I might see a side of him working here that I'd never get to see during the Oniwaban assignment. What? I was just thinking about how you're so close to everyone. Not that I was trying to make you react to stuff. Close. He looked at me in astonishment before letting out a sardonic laugh. See, you do laugh, just sardonically. Guess it's no different, even though he views them as his friends. Guess it'd be kinda scary if he suddenly became super nice. You were thinking something rude just now, weren't you, Soup? Well, are you a mind reader now? How did you? You actually were? Dude. Ouch. No, not at all. Okay, I totally believe you. He doesn't believe me. Now that we're done introducing ourselves, could you show Soup around? Just then, Yanagi gave me a helping hand. Sure thing. Come on, Soup. Oh, Lord, there are probably gonna be characters that pop up this whole time, huh? And I'm gonna be like, oh, what voices should I get? I need to remember voices for 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming. After bowing to Yanagi, the women led me inside by the hand. Okay, so they're all women. Since I'll be working at the brewery, I guess that means I'll be helping brew the sake. Like the word brewery might suggest, the shelves were packed with bottles and barrels of sake. I'd rarely seen this much alcohol before, so I found myself staring at the shelves. Oh, would you like a drink? I wouldn't have pegged you for a heavy drinker with a face like that. No, not quite. I was just looking since it's all new to me. Now that you mention it, I'm pretty sure I reacted the same way when I first came here. We're gonna have drunk... Can we have drunk soup? Oh my god. That was an option. I just don't know how to do it. Okay, my bad. I'm just a dumb of ass. Do we get to see drunk soup this route? I kind of want to see drunk soup. Drunk soup? Which wasn't that long ago, but I'm used to it now because I see it every day. Do you all make this sake together? No, we just do a back of housework. Brewing sake is the men's job. Oh, really? Is that a rule of some kind? There's a lot of reasons why. The biggest one being that brewing sake is a very labor-intensive job. Indeed, we've been told you can't work too hard or your vagina will fall out. That's what my grandma used to say. So don't pick up heavy objects, your vagina will fall out. For example, they wash out the tanks with hot water. It'd be really hard for a woman to carry a bucket full of hot water, you know. Wow. You might get burned if you tip it over by mistake, which is why, among other reasons, women are forbidden from brewing sake. Wow, that seems sexist. I see. I'm gonna become the best first woman sake brewer the world ever seen. That's my purpose. Still, there's no harm in learning how it's brewed. This time of year is Bodai starter prep season. This method lets us brew sake even during the dog days of summer. To make it, soak raw rice in water. Let it rest for 2 days. This process has another more complicated parts, but it's basically done in about a month. When you say this time of year, do you mean there's different ways of making sake at other times of year? Exactly. We prepare it differently in the fall and early winter, which also alters the flavor. I had no idea there was so much to it. I found myself rather awed. Speaking of differences, rice crop conditions can change the flavor of sake as well. You mean it'll taste good if you use good quality rice? Yes, if the rice crop is good, you can make delicious sake with cheap rice. If it isn't, you'll have to use more expensive rice. The market price for rice in 1684 was 1 ryo for 6 toe of rice. But the year we had a bumper crop, you could buy 1 koku and 6 toe of rice for the same price. What's that? Toe, a unit of measurement for rice. 1 toe is approximately 15 kilograms, or enough to feed a person for a month and a half. Cool. Koku, a unit of measurement for rice. 1 koku is approximately 150 kilograms, or enough to feed a person for a year. Huh. Toe is for a person for a month. Koku is for a person for a year. That's a huge difference. We both work at the back, but you ought to keep an eye on the market price for rice as long as you're working here at the brewery. I see. I have to remember that. The female servant carefully explained how sake was brewed while pointing out the sake barrels and bushels of rice. You know, I've been thinking, we're not that far apart in age, so no need to be polite. We'd love to see you relax a bit more around us since we'll be working together from now on. Yes, sir, sure. There we go. Alright, it's time we explain the job to you. We're the back of house, which means we're in charge of cleaning the warehouse, checking and maintaining the equipment, dealing with the paperwork, and taking stock. Be thorough because it's a very detail-oriented work that we can't cut corners on. I'll do the best I can. Afterwards, I completed one task at a time with a female servant's guidance. Despite feeling bewildered since I'd never done any of this before, I finished my work without causing any huge problems thanks to their kind explanations. So I polished the sake bottle with a cloth, then put it back on the shelf. Alright, guess that means I finished all the tasks they gave me. I wiped a single bottle. Great job! You can take a break once you're done with all your work. Okay, thanks. A question popped into my head when she said this. Is it normal for servants to get breaks? I've seen a lot of servants since coming to Edo, but I rarely ever saw them taking breaks. Yoichi used to take breaks at the tea stall, though. Maybe it is normal. The female servant smiled as she replied, No, not at all. No, not at all. Huh? But you just said... Servants are allowed to take breaks here, but you wouldn't normally get a break even after working late into the night. You'd be banned from leaving too. And you wouldn't get paid either. No worker rights. Wait, you wouldn't? You'd be provided with food and clothing in exchange. The clothes are all worn out and the meals are just cold rice and miso soup though. You get a side dish with lunch and dinner, but it's just leftovers or a tiny amount. Not filling at all. That's so sad. Sometimes during Oniwaban business, Miyagi would provide us with refreshments from his wife. I was so blessed. As I stood there feeling thankful for Miyagi's wife, the servant woman nodded. Here you can take breaks when work is slow. They don't get mad at you for going out either. Even the apprentices get a bit of pocket money too. I'm so glad I get to be a servant at a nice place like Yanagi. Apprentice, a young boy who runs errands and does tasks without pay as a shop's lived-in employee. Everyone we work with is nice too. I count my lucky stars that I get to have a workplace and environment like this. Right, a fifth servant. Right, servants as samurai might get to marry into money, but women will be running their own businesses in the future. Yeah, right, women will never. The threads around their necks were a bright, cheerful color filled with enthusiasm. Oh my gosh, they get portraits! And it's all thanks to Yoichi that things are like this here. Mumbled one of the servants. Right at the moment, everyone turned and looked at her. You know what, Sato? You're totally right. I heard Yanagi was like all the others before Yoichi came along. Thank heavens for Yoichi! Woohoo! Whoa, they're grateful to have him around. He believes in worker rights. Never expected to see this, so it caught me by surprise. Yanagi did mention earlier that Yoichi helped him out. He also said Yoichi was very serious while at work and good at what he does. Which seems to be how everyone else views him too, so it must be true. Although Yoichi was usually pretty lazy, he was also very exacting when it came to his work with the Oniwaban. He works hard, then rests when he can. That probably is much more efficient. Despite that thought, I found myself tilting my head when I asked myself that I'd be able to do the same thing. I'm sure I'll learn how to relax while hanging out with Yoichi. Although martial arts is what I really want him to teach me more about. To tell the truth, Yoichi was a big reason why I chose to be a servant at Yanagi Brewery. Would there be like a scene where they're training and would there be maybe? Yeah. I kept up with everybody during the Kamikiri case because of all the martial arts training Yoichi gave me. I need to get stronger since there's no telling what kind of blightfall I'll encounter in the future. That said, Yoichi had already told me I wasn't very strong. Fighting the blightfall myself would be difficult, but I can help during battles by playing decoy. My goal is to be able to take on blightfall by myself, though. You look up too often. I bet that's what Yoichi would say if he were around. The servants' chit-chat had become rather animated while I was lost in thought. Yoichi takes a lot of breaks, but he does a solid job. Yanagi trusts him with his life. Pretty amazing that he's head clerk at his age. I bet Master Yanagi will eventually let him open his own branch. Head clerks are allowed to marry, right? I volunteer myself. Speaking of which, did you know the cute sales girl at the toothpick shop next door has her eye on him? She keeps feeding her tempura. Really? But haven't people been saying she's so beautiful she hasn't been able to keep her own suitors at bay? Guess I don't have a snowball's chance in hell then. Well, Yoichi can be shockingly curt. Maybe he's homosexual. Or maybe aromantic. Oh, but I know. I've seen others besides her ask Yoichi out, but he's ruthless. He just says, too much hassle. He's got a nice face, but yeah, I suppose girls would be pushing their way inside the shop if he had a better personality. Would never get any work done. When you think about it that way, I'm kind of glad Yoichi's blunt. Wow, he's so popular. Come to think of it, Miharu mentioned that Yoichi was popular with a certain crowd. It makes me sad when he's blunt to me, but to each their own, I guess. I was blankly watching the conversation happen from the sidelines when one of the servants looked back at me. Hey, Soup! You came here after being introduced by Yoichi, right? How do you guys know each other? Do we have a story for that? I'm sure we've got a story prepared for that. What? We are... It's a long story. There'll be hell to pay if I'm honest with them. Maybe I should just leave it a bit vague? Having come to that conclusion, I looked away and spoke, implying there was more between Yoichi and I than I could let on, which is kinda true. It's a long story. So much has happened. You mean a lot happened? Between you and Yoichi? Huh? If the awkward vibe was anything to go by, it seemed like they all understood what I meant. But contrary to my prediction, they all had a fiery gleam in their eye. You? What if there's like a fake relationship kind of thing? He's like, you know, it keeps the chicks off my back. And they don't question why you're so close to me. So, how about we just like fake a relationship just for the conveniences? You mean my attempt to set the mood actually got their hopes up for more? You mean you're not just acquaintances? Maybe not. Our relationship is hard to sum up in a single word. I replied while staring off into the distance, not one to ruin the ambiance at this point. I just knew there was something special between you two. A normal couple isn't hard to sum up in a single word, though. True, that's something you say if you were cheating on your husband with Yoichi, for example. Are you cheating on your husband? Well, are you married? And you're having an affair with Yoichi? Damn, how do you get in there? How do you get in there? No, I'm single. Then what exactly do you mean? I cracked a smile, watching the hue of their threads change from curiosity to confusion. A lot's happened between us. Seems like you're really implying something, Soup. A lot? So please don't ask about our relationship. Sure. Sorry for asking. They all caught my drift and nodded rather seriously. Looks like I managed to dupe them. Hopefully that was enough. I felt a little bad looking at their threads, which contained a mix of different emotions. Well, our break is almost over. Then a female servant who hadn't participated in the conversation spoke up. No way, already? We need to hurry up and finish dinner. Dinner refers to what is now called lunch in modern times. Huh. Interesting. I was like, really? A thing for dinner? And then it was lunch. Like, huh? Okay. The women who had been gathered around all scattered to the four winds when they heard their break was almost over. The person who told us was still standing there, staring at me. That must be Sato. Remembering what the other servants had called her earlier, I called her name. Sato, you'll be having lunch soon too, won't you? If you like, why don't we eat now that she's saying lunch? Why don't we eat it? Before I could finish speaking, she turned on her heel and left. Damn. Ah! I yelped in my head when I saw the threads around her neck. I've seen that color before, back when I lived in the village. I once saw a woman intently gazing at the most popular man in the village while he had a friendly chat with another woman. Her threads had been the same color. Is it the color of jealousy? Later on, I established that she was jealous of the other woman for being closer to him than she was. Does that mean Sato likes Yoichi? I couldn't possibly stop her and ask, though. She'd probably be horrified if I brought it up after noticing her threads. Either way, I never would have thought Yoichi was so popular. There's so many people watching around here. I need to be careful of how close I stand to him, because he's an aloof, pretty boy who believes in workers' rights. Of course he's popular. It would be a huge inconvenience to Yoichi if weird rumors about us started going around. That's kind of your fault if that happens, because I can't really sum up our relationship. Just then, I heard the most pathetic sound. I instinctively look all around me. Good, no one's here. Guess I'll finish my meal too. I left the room in a hurry to follow everyone else. Ooh. After finishing my staring contest with the ledger, I lifted my head. Oh, it's already getting dark out. I realized just how late it was when I saw the sunset had turned the buildings and passerby orange. Guess I'll wrap up my work for the day then. Just then, Yoichi came from another room and walked towards me. Yoichi! Have a sec? Sure. Oh, I'm not quite done. You can go. It's late. And nothing around here needs to be worked on until late at night. Really? Not here, anyway. Yanagi really is special. Hurry it up. Got it. With Yoichi rushing me, I hurriedly begin to clean up after myself. Sorry for making you wait on me. Ready to go? I tried to follow Yoichi, who immediately walked away when the female servants I chatted with this afternoon approached me. I just knew you were someone special to Yoichi, Soup. Huh? I hardly ever see Yoichi going out of his way to talk to a newcomer. Dumped before I could even tell him I liked him. Well, I'll be your drinking buddy if you need one tonight. I want to hear all about it later. Of all the other inquisitive, despondent, and other colors I could see in their threads, only Sato's were a color I couldn't quite describe. I knew it. She definitely likes him. Soup. He must have gotten impatient since I never ended up coming. Yoichi stopped in his tracks and called my name to get me to hurry up. I'll be right there. You got this. What does that mean? He gave me shouts of encouragement I didn't quite understand as I left Yanagi Brewery with Yoichi. We walked through Castletown, awash in the glow of the sunset. Where are we going, Yoichi? It didn't seem like we were heading back to the base. We were going in the wrong direction. Is he picking up something for dinner? He wouldn't need me to come along for that, though. I should have asked Yoichi instead of pondering to myself, but the vibe he was giving off made me hesitate. Guess I'll just keep quiet. What's going on? After a while, we came to a nearby empty street. This'll do. Yoichi stopped and turned around after he said this. What's this about being involved? Involved? Don't play dumb. Or actually, let me dumb it down for you. In a relationship. In a relationship? Wait, you and me? I was absolutely floored hearing him say something I didn't see coming at all. Girl, you did this. Why are you shocked? Isn't that what you told everyone? Oh, what I told everyone? I don't remember that at all. Oh, you implied it if you meant to or not. I still don't recall telling them that. You don't, huh? Then explain why the servants are gossiping about us being in a relationship and that it can't be summed up in a single word. A relationship that can't be... Oh! That face you just made tells me that's exactly how you explain it. I didn't really explain it per se, I just left it vague. I'm not sure how this happened when I talked right through it without confirming or denying anything though, because people are going to make their own conclusions! In stark contrast with my utter confusion, Yoichi was calm and collected. Do you know why, Yoichi? More or less. You were so vague, the rumors actually exaggerated it, which led to them getting the wrong idea. If you only implied things, people will fill in the blanks. Yeah. That is true, now that you mention it. I thought I'd done a good job duping everyone. No, you did not, girly. Apparently all I actually done was create a fodder for rumors. Thank you for the hydrate doctor. Thank you for the hydrate doctor. Oh my god. Thank you for the hydrate doctor. God damn it. Thank you for the hydrate. Hello there. I'm so sorry, Yoichi! I bowed my head deeply. No need to apologize. But I caused so much trouble for you. Probably found it really annoying to hear rumors going around that he was involved or in a relationship with me. It was sad knowing that he'd probably distanced himself from me because of this, just when we'd finally gotten a bit closer. Yoichi didn't seem displeased at all, however. In fact, he looked downright— I knew it! Is it convenient for him? Fake relationship time, fake relationship time. I didn't sense anything bashful or bittersweet about his expression either. I might be able to use this. I knew it! Hell yeah! The gentle smile on Yoichi's face gave me a bad feeling. Yoichi, what did you mean just now when you said you could use? I got something more important to talk about. Listen up. Huh? Something important? Not what we just talked about? Right. I summoned you here for other business. Remember when I gave you that tempura and turns out you were a throat goat? Yoichi lowered his voice. I want to tell you a blight fall appeared in town, so let's go fight it off. Right now. That's much more important! That's much more important! I said it was. Yeah, but... I wish he led with that. What was that with being a throat goat? What the fuck? Injuro's keeping it busy, so it's okay if we're a little late. Kuga certainly is strong, but what if it's another Blightfall like the Kamikiri? That one was an exception. Edo would be in far worse shape right now if Blightfall that strong appeared on a regular basis. True. Let's meet up with Kuga, quickly! I hurried over to the scene, rushing after a rather optimistic-sounding Yoichi. Kuga is... Huh! I heard a slash further down the road and hastily ran to the source of the noise. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, by the way, there's a fight going on. We kind of need to join that. Blah! Kuga was there scoring off against a single Blightfall. It was so massive, he had to look up at it, with long arms and body entirely covered in black threads. Oh my. It looks like a normal Blightfall, but didn't have a sharp beak like the Kamikiri. Kuga could have probably easily defeated on his own. Drooling over guys again? No, when would I ever do that? Are they purposely... Thank you for the hydrate, Rand. Are they, like, purposely keeping it alive so they'll see how, like, Soup would react in it? Because she was, like, getting trained by, Yoichi. Still, he wasn't giving chase. He remained at a distance, keeping an eye on the situation. Maybe it's pretty powerful even though it looks normal? We need you to use your prayer powers. Just as I thought that to myself. Oh my gosh, Rand! A lot. What? Why are they talking? Anymore. The Blightfall talked? So, Yoichi, you're here! Kuga turned around and looked at us, then pointed at the Blightfall. It's talking. I wanted to show you this. That's why I kept it alive. Don't worry, I got my water here, fresh and refilled. Woo! We can all be hydrated. Anyway, how's it going? Oh, gosh darn it. Thank you for the hydrate, Dark Educator. It's going pretty well. It's a Friday night. I'm playing some Otome, so I'd say it's going pretty well. I see. But you're here! Yay! I see. So that's why you prolonged the fight without killing it. I'm glad you're doing good, Rand. Talking Blightfall must be pretty rare, right? Not necessarily. Sometimes when humans transform into Blightfall, their effusive hatred causes them to speak. This Blightfall is a little different, however. A lie. Or the... anymore. I got you, Rand. Fair. The Blightfall continued muttering resentfully while we talked. A lie? Or the... anymore? I listened in closely in an attempt to understand what it was saying, but the Blightfall was so quiet I couldn't quite make it out. A lie. Or the... anymore. I don't know what it means, but I can tell it's mumbling the same words. What are you, a broken record? Right, we seem Blightfall that bitterly complain, although I feel like they don't often say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Maybe you'll be able to tell what it's saying if you get closer? Sure, if the Blightfall doesn't attack when you get close enough. Pretty sure Genjuro already tried that and had to slash at it with his sword when it attacked. So that's what that sound was earlier. Yeah, he went, yeah! It attacks when you get close, but you can't hear what it's saying unless you do. What now? Then a new Blightfall has spawned on the battlefield in front of the other one. It swung its long, massive arm towards us. Get out of the way! Woo! We retreated the second we heard Kuga shout. We have no other choice now. Let's take them both down. The second the words left his lips, Kuga brandished his sword at the talking Blightfall. When his blade flawlessly made purchase with the Blightfall's shoulder, it cried out and stepped backwards. You want to escape me? Kuga immediately circled around the Blightfall and sliced its other shoulder with its blade. His blade. You can leave that one to Genjuro. We got this, Soup. Yeah. He gave Yoichi a firm nod before standing off against a new Blightfall. He let out a cry, then reached out towards us with its feelers. Watch your opponent's moves carefully. The second it looked like it might attack, I fell in the same direction. I guess it hadn't thought I'd actually be able to dodge its attack. The rattled Blightfall stopped, but then immediately sent out a slew of feelers the second time. However, Yoichi took that split second of opportunity to cut the Blightfall's mask with his sword. He did. Despite his... I guess not. Okay. Despite its weak point being hit, the Blightfall showed no signs of disappearing. Far from it. In fact, its body produced a brand new mask. Well, damn. Guess it's another form folk turned Blightfall like the Kamikiri. Soup. Right. Already back on my feet, I approached the Blightfall with a knife in hand. Then... Ha! Took my knife and thrust it into the wooden tablet I spotted in the back of its head. Can't cut through it. I meant to keep pulling my knife down towards the ground, but it was firmly planted in a tablet. The Blightfall was also struggling for its life, meaning I'd be thrown off if I didn't keep a firm grip on my blade. What about your prayer powers? Wait, we do prayer. My hands are. Stick it out a little longer. I was on the verge of losing hope, but hearing Yoichi root for me lifted my spirits. If I can't pull the knife down, I used all my strength to push the knife further into the tablet. Then what about this? Confident, I pushed the knife in even further. And then the tablet finally cracked. Woo! The Blightfall let out one last anguished cry before its black threads dissipated into the sky. I beat it. You did it, Soup. Yippee.
You really held your own there. And I think that's hot.
Yoichi held me up by the arm since I was about ready to collapse. All thanks to you for cheering me on. Plus he kept the Blightfall's feelers from attacking me.
I don't remember doing that.
Yoichi feigned ignorance, but I was an easy target since I was only armed with a knife. The only way I could have avoided being hit was for Yoichi to block the enemy's attacks. Done as well? Kuga must have completed his snow sacrament too. After sheathing his sword, he walked towards us. What was up with that one? It was just like the Kamakiri, which was a form folk that transformed into a Blightfall. I didn't see an original object of the form folk appear afterwards, though. What could that mean?
It wasn't any stronger than your average Blightfall, though. No big deal if it can talk, but it isn't all that strong.
You know, that's not the case. It might be a sign that new types of Blightfall are emerging. We simply can't overlook this.
You're so uptight, Genjuro. How far is that stick up your ass?
Dude, what the fuck? There's been an uptick in form folk turning into Blightfall recently. It only makes sense to be vigilant. True. A fair amount of form folk of Blightfall had been popping up in Edo ever since the Kamakiri had appeared. As we learned in Mitsu's case, the Blightfall like these couldn't be defeated by cutting their mask off. That's why our strategy was to cut the wooden tag. One other method was to destroy their original object, of course, but it was extremely hard to locate whatever tool constituted their true form during a fight. For some odd reason, cutting the wooden tag required for them to materialize allow us to purify the Blightfall without causing the form folk to vanish as well. I was thinking that, well, it's like if you cut the wooden tag, doesn't the form folk turn back into its object? Or they should turn back into its object? Considering how Black Mitsu's wooden tag had become, it seemed that we were cutting the malice that resided in the tablet rather than the tablet itself. This was apparently a first in a long history of the Oniweapon. That was terrible enough, but strange Blightfall like the one we fought just now just keeps showing up. Like Miyagi said, maybe there really is someone orchestrating all of this. For the time being, let's report this incident to Miyagi tomorrow.
All we can do for now, I guess.
How many emotional imprints do you see here, Soup? I'd like to include that in our report as well. Oh, sure thing. I'll check right now. I've been so surprised by the talking Blightfall earlier that I haven't paid attention to the emotional imprints. I do see emotional imprints swirling all around. Excuse me. Although not nearly as many as where the Kamakiri appeared the other day. There are more than usual, but not an increased amount. Meaning it's unlikely that emotional imprints caused the talking Blightfall to appear. Appreciate it. I'll scan the area for anything else out of the ordinary. In that case, we'll be... I can take care of it on my own. You must be tired after working at Yanagi today. You ought to get some rest. Yoichi, take her home.
Don't worry, I will. Take her to bed, too.
Yoichi waved Kuga off. Excuse me. After giving us both a slight bow, Kuga disappeared into the darkness. Once he completely vanished into the night, I suddenly remembered something and turned to face Yoichi. That reminds me, before we came here, you said you could use something? What do you mean?
Right. I thought we could get together like the rumors going around are saying.
Huh?
I was so shocked I completely ruined the silence.
What? I yelled, my voice echoing throughout the whole neighborhood.
Pipe down. You're bothered the neighbors making a racket like that late at night.
But only because you said something weird, Yoichi.
Weird. All I said was that we should get together.
That is a weird thing to say! Explain what you mean starting from the very beginning!
Yeah, I probably should. Although he was going to say it sounded like too much work, but apparently Yoichi really was going to explain it from the very beginning. I said get together, but I don't mean being in an actual relationship. Just as a cover. I knew it! I knew it! So get all these bitches off my back. I'm not sure if you know this, but a lot more women have started confessing their feelings to me lately.
Wow! I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, I work with them. Yeah, but yeah, I guess that would kind of suck. I work with them. Plus, it's a huge hassle. If I offend them by how I turn them down, my job will be impacted. I have to choose my words carefully when doing that.
Then why do you need me to be your fake girl?
Let me finish.
Sure.
Held my tongue after being shut down. I've been very thoughtful turning them down so far, but it's becoming more and more of a hassle. If rumors start spreading that I like someone back, then fewer women will confess their love to me. We're also both in the Oniwa bond, so I don't need to explain my job to you in detail. So it's convenient. In short, I want to use you as repellent.
Repellent? How horrible, treating women like bugs.
I knew he actually was pretty popular after hearing the servants gossip about him this afternoon. Sato seemed to have a crush on Yoichi too. So, let me guess. You'll cooperate? I'm guessing she might not actually have a crush on him.
I feel bad about tricking everyone though. And if they figured out we were lying right away...
Fake a relationship with me and I'll give you even more training. So? His proposal was so enticing I couldn't say no.
Count me in then!
Okay, thanks, Soup. Which was how Yoichi and I ended up in a fake relationship. Yippee!
Glad to see they're all sleeping soundly.
I crawled out on my futon quietly so I wouldn't wake anyone up.
Guess Komame is still asleep too.
It warmed my heart seeing Komame fast asleep in my luggage.
She's so cute. I'd love to pet her on the head, but I won't since it'll just wake her up.
I stood right up so I wouldn't wake Komame.
It's still early, but I need to finish my daily training before everyone wakes up in another bell hour.
I didn't have a daily appointment set with Yoichi. By the way, I was training on my own. And if they're caught together, it'll be like the fake relationship thing. Yeah, convenient. Yoichi's been watching me for a while, like he promised, but I also need to practice on my own if I want to get any better. I got ready while thinking to myself restlessly.
If anyone spots me getting ready early in the morning, I'm sure they'll make a huge fuss about this too.
The other day, I told everyone I was in a relationship with Yoichi. I spaced out, remembering the uproar when I told them. That was a real mess. It happened several days after Yoichi and I decided to go through with a fake relationship.
You know, Yoichi asked me to tell everyone about our relationship today, but
I couldn't think about literally anything else, making me pretty much useless at work. Yeah, I've been there before. Well, not that specific interest, but like thinking about something so hard that I'm pretty much useless at work. I heard several footsteps approaching me as I stood there fidgeting. Yoichi was amongst the people walking towards me, which made me even more nervous. Felt that, lol. Yeah.
Yoichi, what do you want to talk to us about?
You seem awfully stern. Did we do something bad? Huh? No. You're just serious about work, I suppose. What do you want to talk about then?
Well, is it about you and her, Yoichi?
And one of the female servants standing beside me muttered something.
Her? Oh, you mean the rumors are true?
The servants looked at Yoichi, shocked. He turned to them and nodded. Yeah, it's true.
I knew you two were in a relationship! That settles it. I'm out of the running then. How'd you get Yoichi to fall for you? I'm dying to know too. Psst. Who liked who first? Yoichi. So Yoichi's into girls. Like you, huh? Women who make you want to protect them, huh? I get it, I do.
I assumed they suspected something was up if I said Yoichi liked me first, but they were actually rolling with it. The unexpected sight of them falling for it almost made me deny everything, but then I remembered that what Yoichi said and kept mum. Yoichi and I met in Edo. Yoichi fell in love with me at first sight, and then we started dating. Yoichi falling in love I can't see that happening. According to Yoichi, it sounded more natural that we started dating after Yoichi fell in love with me at first sight, rather than me falling for Yoichi. If I'd fallen for Yoichi, a man who showed zero interest in anybody, then I would have just been shot down like all the other women before me. God bless their souls. Still, I couldn't imagine Yoichi falling for a woman for the same reason.
Why isn't anyone questioning this? I figured as much. Yoichi never would have talked to a newcomer otherwise. Is Yoichi surprisingly passionate with his girlfriend even though he's usually so blunt? Ooh, maybe. I bet he came off real strong when you said yes. Yeah, I guess. You lucky dog! I want to hear all about it, Yoichi. I want to hear all about Yoichi later.
As promised, she asked me a million questions the second I returned to the women's quarters. Yoichi had given me answers to everything he assumed they asked, so I managed to answer all their questions without raising any suspicion. It's not just my fellow servants either. Even Yanagi knows about our relationship. We've already explained our fake relationship to the rest of the Oniwaban, of course. By now, all of our acquaintances knew about Yoichi and I being together. Kuga just told me he was looking forward to working with me more too. Since Yoichi and I worked at the same place as cover, he said it'd be better if we took down Blightfall together if any appeared. I thought Yoichi might hate that, but he seemed completely fine with it. I continued getting dressed while recalling how it had gone. Speaking of which, talking Blightfall might have been appearing every single day since then. Okay. I'm sure we know why if we could just tell what they're saying. Like the first Blightfall, they were all so quiet that you couldn't make out any details. They've been appearing in different places each time, so it doesn't seem to be the location making them spawn. I kept my hands busy the entire time, I thought to myself, meaning I was done changing in no time. I folded my pajamas, placed them on my pillow, there. But before that, I sat in... sorry, that was loud. I sat in front of my dresser and started brushing my hair with a comb. Time to brush out the hair licking my bangs. My hair always stuck out on the side I slept on, but I couldn't brush it out with my fingers no matter how hard I tried. Yoichi noticed before, so I needed to take better care of my hair. If Yoichi spotted me with a single hair out of place, I just know he'll tell me that I need to take care more about my appearance as a woman. Goddamn. There, much better. I placed the comb on the dresser and stood up. What should I eat today? I normally ate breakfast with everyone else, but I wanted something in my stomach before training. I usually have leftovers from the night before, but I don't think there's much left. I could probably make a simple bowl of ochazuke with whatever cold rice was left, though. I snuck out of the room, careful not to wake anyone when... I heard a sound inside. I listened carefully. Maybe, yeah, she was like, well, just like talking to herself and stuff. It was like, something's going to happen, right? Maybe someone else had came to get something to eat. A glutton who couldn't wait for breakfast, perhaps. Do we know a glutton around by the name of Yoichi? Nervous about who it might be, I peeked inside the room. Is it going to be a fan servicey kind of? Let out a surprised yelp when I saw who it was. Yoichi? Imagine, like, well, they don't have freezers or refrigerators because it's not, you know, not, it's way in the past. But I'm just, like, imagining him, like, huddled over, like, a bag of cheese, like, stuffing in his mouth, like a gremlin. He's like, I don't know. Yoichi? Oh, soup. Yoichi skipped some rice into his bowl, barely even noticing my arrival. Why are you up so early, Yoichi? You don't work this early in the morning, do you? If you did, there was no way everyone in the women's quarters would be fast asleep at this hour. Yeah. Yoichi be like, jeez. Yeah, I have only one work to do in a few. Huh? You should have invited me along then. I'll just be patrolling, not exterminating Blightfall. I've been going on rounds with Genjuro long before you joined Castletown crew. Oh, right. Will I be patrolling with you and Kuga from now on then? How would I know? Ask Mitsushige yourself. Okay, I will. Still as blunt as ever, even though we're in a fake relationship, I see. Why are you up so early? I just thought I'd have a bite to eat before I do my morning training. After that less than interested remark, he pointed at the rice pot. Then I'll make enough for you while I'm at it. Oh, he's smiling. Huh? What's with that reaction? Well, if you're offering to make me some food... A question had suddenly popped in my mind. Does that mean you know how to cook rice? I've seen Yoichi's insatiable hunger in action many times before, but I never actually see him make food. If he's gonna make me some, does that mean he doesn't just specialize in eating? Why would I offer if I couldn't? True. I see, so it turns out Yoichi can cook, not just eat. Unlike Tiro I listed from Even If Tempest, who says he's an eater, not a cooker. And he said, while he's at it, but he's going out of his way to make me some. I was touched by his act of kindness, something I would have never expected from Yoichi back when I just met him. Thank you, Yoichi, if you really don't mind. Oh, if there's anything I can do to Nope. So stay there. Oh, sure. I sat obediently on his stool after he curtly shot me down. Do you mind if I ask what you're going to make? I asked timidly. Yoichi's hands stayed busy as he answered me. Ochazuke and pickled vegetables. Oh, yeah? I love it with pickled veggies. Not long after, a delicious aroma wafted in my direction as I sat there, eagerly waiting. Here you go. He handed me a steaming hot bowl of ochazuke. I took it with both hands so I wouldn't burn myself. I never seen like the sparkle effect before. The big. Guess it's really good. The hell is that? Cat got your tongue? This is ochazuke? The bowl of ochazuke Yoichi handed me wasn't just tea poured over cold rice. It was incredibly extravagant with nori, salted salmon, and sesame seeds on top. I never seen anything like this before. You wouldn't have. I came up with it myself. Try some. You'll be even more surprised once you have a bite. Sure. At Yoichi's insistence, I blew on this soup to cool it down and then took a sip. This is delicious!
The saltiness of the salmon was softened by the tea, giving the dish a very gentle flavor. Is this tea different too? It has the perfect level of astringency and sweetness.
Huh? You noticed? So pink. I don't think they haven't used that ever up to this point. Like,
all pinks and sparklies.
Ochazuke is normally made with bancha, but I use sencha. It gives a good umami flavor and makes it much tastier than a normal bowl of ochazuke.
Can I fake you speak? No, I cannot speak.
Now I'm thinking like Food Wars.
Sencha? No wonder it tastes so good.
React to where your clothes at.
I only get to drink sencha on special occasions, and he's using it to make ochazuke. Ochazuke. But it's so delicious. I want to have sencha ochazuke from now on. To me, ochazuke was something cheap and simple you made just to fill your stomach. I couldn't believe a bit of extra effort turned into a proper dish. This is awesome, Yoichi. You're a genius cook.
Praise won't get you anywhere.
Yoichi did look a bit proud in spite of his remark.
I eat ochazuke a lot during my breaks. One of my favorite things to make since it's quick and tasty. You get used to the flavor when you eat it every day, though. I realized you could make it even more delicious by adding extra toppings. I switched up the ingredients depending on my mood that day and enjoy how it tastes.
Wow.
I wanted something salty today, so I made ochazuke with salted salmon. When I want something sour, I add salted plum. When I'm in the mood for something fancy, I add sea bream.
Sea bream? Sea bream was a very high-end fish. Not too expensive, but expensive enough that a mere commoner would never have a taste. So it's pretty dang expensive. Do you mind if I ask how you managed to get sea bream?
I was staring at a fishmonger who asked me what fish I wanted. I told him and he gave me some.
Wow, I get... It's, no matter what stall it is, you like, oh, if he looks at it, you're like, oh, would you like this, Yoichi? He charms everyone, I guess. That's it?
That's it.
Speaking of which, the lady at the tempura stand gave him some for free. And I thought she just wanted to get in his pants. Maybe people just feel like giving him things when he looks at them. Damn.
Either way, I only do it on special occasions. Most of the time I put sardines and herring on my I'm so sorry, I butcher my words, especially Japanese words. Okazuke.
Ooh, those sound good too.
I'll make you some the next chance I get then.
Are you sure?
It's the same amount of work to make it for 1 or 2 people.
Thank you. I could tell Yoichi was a skilled cook by the ochazuke I ate earlier. Woo! I can't wait. I crunched on a pickled vegetable while thinking about it. Yoichi sat across from me and sipped his ochazuke with a straight face. His expression hasn't changed, but I can tell he's really enjoying his food. I know his heart's been sealed off, but he doesn't seem any different from a normal person when you ask him about his food preferences.
What? I said this a million times already. If you have something to say, spit it out.
Oh, right. Sorry. You seem to like cooking and eating. What's your favorite thing to cook? And what's your best dish?
What happens when I tell you? I'll be like, okay, I have this information now. Having finished his ochazuke, he set the bowl down on his tray and stared back at me.
Well, I really didn't mean anything by asking. It was just like, dude, I'm just making conversation. I just thought I could learn more about Yoichi by talking about food. Oh, then it occurred to me. Everyone knows we're in a fake relationship now, but who knows what might blow our cover. I figured if we got to know each other better, it might help me. It'd help me waste no time handling issues that pop up. We also don't act any differently towards each other from before, even though we're in a fake relationship, you know? Doing some relationship-y things would give us more credibility. So, tell me, Yoichi, what specific things do you think would make us seem more like we were in a relationship? Yoichi replied to my question like he couldn't care less. You're not cut out for duping people. Just act normal, same as before. Same as before? Guess I'm not cut out for it, like Yoichi said. Is that okay? And now that I agreed to being in a fake relationship, shouldn't I be taking action too instead of just leaving everything up to Yoichi? That said, I'd never been in a relationship before. I lived in the mountains before coming to Edo. I hadn't much human contact. Stuff a couple would do. You're talking out loud. Oh, sorry. Was I being loud? No, but hearing you grumble nearby is getting on my nerves. I just said you can just act the same as you did before. No need to worry about it. I see. I gave up and decided to leave it in Yoichi's hands after all. That reminds me, back when I lived in the village, I saw couples go on outings together. Hey Yoichi, how about a date on our next day off? Huh? After a long pause, Yoichi raised his eyebrow at me in suspicion. This is more like a... Huh? No need to look at me like that. I knew he didn't actually suspect me of anything because he was a vessel, but it still hurt my feelings to see him react that way. I decided not to let it discourage me and continue explaining anyways. Back in the village, I saw couples on outings together. Whether it's fake or not, we are in a relationship. Going on dates would deepen our friendship too. What'd you think? Dates, huh? I take that as a no. Not a no, it just sounds like a hassle. You say everything's a hassle. Okay. Going on dates with someone as begrudging about everything as Yoichi would be a challenge. If dates are off the table, maybe we can change what we call each other? In spite of my idea, I have no clue what to call them. Hard to call each other by our first names. Anything more polite would make us seem even more distant. What about a nickname? Ichi? Huh? The fuck are you doing? Hearing him say, huh? A second time made me break out in cold sweat. Huh? Huh? I can already see where this is going, but why are you calling me by a different name? If you can see where it's going, then please don't ask. I responded to Yoichi's question anyways, despite the thought going through my head. I thought it might make you sound more special to me if I called you by another nickname. Calling me something else out of the blue would be even more suspicious. It's special enough that we call each other by our first names. I suppose you may be correct. I unintentionally agreed in an overly polite way. Just act normal, same as before. Sure. Are we done here? If we are, I'd like to clean up and get back to work. Oh, yeah. Good luck on your Oniwaban assignment. Thanks. You too. Yoichi stood up and put his empty bowl in a bucket filled with water. I like that word, bucket. Oh, I'll wash the dishes. You will? Cool, thanks. Yoichi waved and then left the kitchen. After watching him leave, I stood up with my own bowl in hand. Normal and same as before, huh? I'd really like to be closer friends with Yoichi since we're Oniwaban teammates and also work together at the same place as a cover. I'm sure if I brought it up with him directly, he'd tell me things are fine the way they are since it wasn't interfering with work. He'll say, that sounds like a hassle. Vessels can date just like form folk and humans. If in that case, we should be able to develop our friendship and get to know each other in a similar fashion. Man, this is hard. I focus on washing the dishes to take my mind off of my gloomy mood. Several days later, I spent a while working at the brewery as a servant and had become fairly used to the job. I was sweeping up the back today, one of my back of house duties. But for some reason, Yoichi, the head clerk, was doing it with me. Guess they placed us together on purpose since we're dating. Quit looking at me. Keep those hands moving. Will do. I did, panicking when he gave me a warning. He doesn't sound mad, I think. He looks like he's dissociating. I couldn't guess what Yoichi was thinking because I couldn't see his threads. Or if he's like not thinking at all. He's just like, stare. Awning. I'm looking at awning. Cool. It used to make me nervous, but now not seeing them was almost a relief. Everyone's nice, but sometimes I find myself fretting over the color of their threads. Nearly everyone's threads were the color of curiosity, especially recently. They asked about Yoichi at every opportunity. Haven't hesitated when answering their questions lately because they asked me so many times, but I feel bad lying to them. It didn't end when I returned to the women's quarters either, meaning I didn't even get the chance to relax in my room. Being with Yoichi right now might be the only part of my day where I get to relax. It was a huge change. I never would have pictured myself thinking this when I first met Yoichi. Soup. And Yoichi, who had been right next to me cleaning, whispered into my ear, scaring me out of my wits. Hey, Odin! Also, goddammit. I forgot. Again, you text. I know you did text me to remind me, but when you texted me, it was like I was already asleep. I was asleep. What's up, Doc? Be on your toes, Yoichi said, not moving anything except for his eyes. Naturally, I followed his gaze. Oh. The second our eyes met, one of the servants looked away in a panic. How long do you think she's been watching us? She's not the only one watching. What? You have no idea, did you? No. Nice catch, Yoichi. You'll notice when you feel people's eyes on you. I see. I looked around once more and noticed other servants sneaking glimpses of us, just like Yoichi had said. Why are they paying attention to us? Why do you think they're paying attention to you, Soup? They're probably interested in the kinds of conversations and interaction couples have, especially since it's you, Yoichi. But haven't we told them anytime they asked? Time to enact the long watch. Hearing about it is different from seeing it in person. They're starved for entertainment. I see. Other people's love affairs are their entertainment. Yeah, there's no TV, there's no soap operas. You gotta be nosy Nancy's. They probably ask about a relationship every single day because they found it thrilling to hear about someone else's love life. That said, I wonder when Yoichi will move away. His breath tickled my ears every time he talked, and to be really honest, I couldn't relax. Oh, if he won't walk away, then I will! Oh. He's like, dude, don't go. You gonna try to blow our cover, bitch? When I tried to leave, Yoichi pulled me even closer. Dude! Although I wasn't paying much attention to my surroundings, I could hear the other servants gossiping once they saw us. Why are you moving away? Because it's hard to clean like this, and everyone's watching. Turtle Papa. But we're doing it for everyone else to see. Huh? Didn't you say that we should try to act a little bit more like a couple?
I thought about it after you left and realized you had a point. Perfect situation for some couple stuff if you like to give it a try. What do you mean? What kind of couple stuff are you talking about, Yoichi? This game's developer's obsession with Elliot Page. Oh. I gotcha. I see. Yoichi said this like it was nothing, but we were at work.
Ollie, please shut up. Ollie, no. Ollie, no. What exactly were you planning to do in a situation like this, Yoichi?
Yoichi grinned at me while I stood there bewildered. Oh my god, I'll be right back. I probably need to grab my cat. It was a huge change. I never would have pictured myself thinking this when I first met Yoichi. Soup. Then, Yoichi, who has been right next to me cleaning, whispered into my ear, scaring me out of my wits.
What's up, Doc?
Be on your toes. Yoichi said, not moving anything except for his eyes. Naturally, I followed his gaze.
Oh!
The second our eyes met, one of the servants looked away in a panic. How long do you think she's been watching us? She is not the only one watching. What? You have no idea, did you?
No, nice catch, Yoichi.
You notice when you feel people's eyes on you.
I see.
I looked around once more and noticed another servant sneaking glimpses of us, just like Yoichi had said. Why are they paying attention to us? They're probably interested in the kinds of conversations and interactions couples have. But haven't we told them any time they've asked? Hearing about it is different from seeing it in person. They're starved for entertainment. Because they don't have shit like soap operas. And things like that. So they got, yeah. I see. Other people's love affairs are their entertainment. They probably asked about our relationship every single day because they found it thrilling to hear about someone else's love life. That's sad. I wonder when Yoichi will move away. His breath tickled my ears every time he talked, and to be really honest, I couldn't relax. If he won't walk away, then I will. Yeah, you know what's coming. Cutesy. When I tried to leave, Yoichi pulled me even closer. Although I wasn't paying much attention to my surroundings, I could hear the other servants gossiping once they saw us. Why are you moving away?
Because it's hard to clean like this, and everyone's watching.
Well, precisely because everyone's watching. But we're doing it for everyone to see. How scandalous.
Huh?
Didn't you say that we should try and act a little bit more like a couple? I thought about it after you left and realized you had a point. Perfect situation for some couple stuff if you like to give it a try.
What kind of couple stuff?
Yoichi said this like it was nothing, but we were at work.
What exactly were you planning to do in a situation like this, Yoichi?
Yoichi grinned at me while I stood there bewildered. You don't need to do anything. Just be normal like I said earlier. Yoichi moved from whispering into my ear to bending forward a little bit.
He smooched her.
On the cheek.
What?
Yoichi covered my mouth with his hand when I attempted to scream. Hush, be quiet. I quieted down as I was told. I quieted down when I was told when Yoichi shot me a fierce look. That'll work. On second thought, Yoichi's face was awfully close. Also, what's his hand doing? Your face is bright red. Is that really all it takes to embarrass you? You really aren't used to being around people.
Yep, because she was in the mountain.
in solitude. With a village that shunder. Yep. Yoichi removed his hand from over my mouth, then placed his arm around my shoulder. Easy, easy. Despite Yoichi advising me not to move, I'd never had a man whisper to me at such close range, let alone hold me close. I just went along with it since I could barely process going through all this for the first time in my life. I'm impressed that you've been working so hard to train on your own lately. It's not all that impressive. Ring ring. Yeah, it is. There's nothing more attractive than a hard-working woman. That's probably why I fell in love with you. It's also adorable when you turn red as soon as I say anything. What am I supposed to do when you're making me fall even harder for you? Hearing Yoichi say sentence after sentence that sounded nothing like him left more than a surprise. I was dumbfounded. Ring ring, hello, I have a message for a Mr. Raj. My name is... First name Mike. God damn it, Odin. Wow, check out Yoichi. He must be head over heels for her. Shh, fuck you. A real shame for me, but as long as Yoichi's happy, I wish them eternal happiness. They're making a huge deal out of this. The servants had been watching secretly from the back, but now they were starting to make a huge racket while watching us. Still, I'm sure there are a few things you wouldn't know training on your own. Why don't we train together on your next day off? I found it puzzling that Yoichi kept emphasizing my training for some reason. Could it be like a euphemism for something else? I train with Yoichi all the time. Why does he keep emphasizing that part? He must have sensed that I didn't understand where we was going with this. What? Need me to spell it out for you? I'm saying I want to go on a date. A date? An idea I proposed the other day, only to be shot down. Why is he? Oh, because it's something a couple would do. Even so, training isn't much of a date. I thought that to myself for a split second before realizing this was Yoichi I was talking about. Knowing him, going somewhere was too much of a hassle, but we already trained together almost every day. So what'll it be? The moment I composed myself, he whispered into my ear and made me lose my cool all over again. He's so close. I couldn't possibly answer him in a situation like this. The moment I prayed with all my heart that anyone would rescue me. I'm glad you get along and all, but easy does it. Yanagi appeared from the back entrance, giving us a warning. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. We'll be more careful. Thank goodness. At the rate things were going, I probably would have said yes to anything Yoichi asked. Oh. Gonna get back to cleaning now that... Oh, wait. Gonna go back to cleaning now that we've been told off. He left not long after saying that. Yoichi was being so assertive earlier. This was much more like him, though. I gotta focus on cleaning, too. I slapped my cheeks to psych myself up, then resumed cleaning. All done cleaning the back. Great work. Yanagi came from inside while thanking me. Huh? It was then that I noticed a bound book on the desk. It hadn't been there earlier, which made me cock my head. Cock. Bound book. A book made by binding sheets of paper together. Okay. What's this? Oh, it's one of those romance novels that have been all the rage lately. What's his name? Why did I forget Yoichi's name? What if Yoichi was reading that for, like, research? He's like, how do the couples act?
Wow, you read stuff like this too?
Yanagi denied it with a big smile on his face. No, I was paying one of my regulars a visit. He gave it to me and told me I should read it because it's very entertaining. And he showed me the bound book. It says the author's name is Iroha Harumi. I don't think I've heard of them before. Hadn't been long since I came to Edo, which is why seeing the name didn't ring any bells. The title is Ephemeral Love. Based on the title alone, I assumed it was a sad love story.
Do you happen to know who wrote it?
Well, Yanagi scanned the room before speaking in a hushed tone. The author is actually a fairly prominent samurai.
Really? You probably don't see that every day.
I don't think I've heard about this before. It is. He's the only one as far as I know. Yoichi, did you write love novels? That's what I thought. Heard he killed time writing, wait. Could it be,
Sorry, my tummy's growling.
Could it be the guy? Could it be Yoichi's owner? Like when he was an object?
Zippy-doo-dah-how! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, woo! Hello there. What were y'all doing also? Hello, my name is Sippy. You could call me B.
I am a B-tuber who loves to play visual novels. Because I get to do dumb voices for them. Yeah. And I like otome because men.
Repo! Nice! Repo's fun.
I haven't played much of the new update. I need to try and play. Yeah. But I'm wondering if the author of the novel is Yoichi's owner when he was an object. I heard he killed time by writing novels because things were slow at his family's business, but then the books became extremely popular. But the only samurai who can have businesses are shogunate retainers, so please keep this between us.
Yes, understood. I'll make sure not to let this slip, or it'll cause problems for both Yanagi and the author.
At any rate, I'm very curious about this if there are rumors going around about it. Yanagi noticed I've been staring at the book while thinking to myself. Feel free to look through it since there aren't any customers around. Thank you. I accepted Yanagi's offer and took the book from him and discreetly leafed through it. I'm glad there aren't any difficult kanji. Even I can read this. Regardless of their motives in the beginning, it takes a lot of effort to make a bound book nowadays. The authors themselves transcribe each page by hand. Oh, that must take a lot of time. Probably before the printing press. For sure. I hear you have to put in a reservation at the book lending shop way. Book lending shop way in advance because of it.
Hey, Max.
Oh, agile burb. Fair enough. I'm amazed you managed to get your hands on one of these popular bound books, Yanagi. Oh, it's really no big deal. He's probably trying to use my personal connections to help make the books more popular. As a merchant myself, I understand. I'm sure he can't treat his daughter's illness on a samurai's stipend alone, after all. Stipend. His daughter? Yes, his daughter seems to be afflicted with some kind of strange illness. Maybe even the doctors weren't able to determine what's caused. Oh, it's probably caused by Blightfall. Like, what's her name? What the fuck is her name? Otane and Mitsuki. A mysterious illness. The whole family must be worried. Do you know what kind of illness it is? Unfortunately, I don't. Although I hear she's bedridden. Like Otane. She apparently regains consciousness every once in a while, but then her health immediately worsens and she falls back to sleep. Heard the doctors completely gave up and just said they never seen an illness like that before.
Welcome from Agile MaxBet. How you doing? Yep, that's what I was saying. Her illness sounds exactly what happened to Ultone during the Kamakiri case. Maybe his daughter is feeling the ill effects of form folk that turn into Blightfall? If so, I need to investigate as a member of the Oniwaban. Yanagi, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about that?
It's definitely possible that his daughter's form folk turned into a Blightfall.
After returning to the Oniwaban base, I explained what Yanagi had told me to my teammates. I had also gotten permission from Yanagi to talk to them about it. Another form folk turning into Blightfall.
And we got Blightfall appearing too. What a pain in the ass.
Yoichi, language!
Whatever, I take work seriously. As you already know, form folk who transform into Blightfall are much more powerful than humans who do. There's still a lot we don't know about form folk Blightfall. The form folk owner may be affected when they transform. If true, we need to defeat it quickly.
If Yanagi's regular is someone from Samurai Town, does that mean the Samurai Town group will be in charge of the case?
The Castle Town crew will be taking care of this one with Yanagi's permission. We were the first to crack a form folk turned Blightfall case. Jurisdiction-wise, they should be in charge, but we're better served to take the case since we got a lot of experience taking on Blightfall like these.
Yoichi's right. It's probably better to leave this to whoever has more experience. Lord Miyagi, may I ask the same for the author and the woman who owns the form folk? Oh, the author. Yeah, the Shoichi, he's not Yoichi's owner. Oh, I know. Yanagi had told me their names when I asked him for more details. The samurai is Kazukage Hiraoka, and his daughter is named Shizuki. I appreciate it, MaxBet. You know who that is, Yoichi? The color drained from Yoichi's face the second I said their names out loud. He was so pale, I could tell how he felt even without being able to see his threads. What's wrong? You're deathly pale. Are you feeling...
It's nothing.
It doesn't look like nothing to me.
It's nothing, really.
With that, he's back to his usual self. His complexion only changed for a brief second, but I never seen him look like that. Calling Yoichi expressive was a bit of a stretch. He was shrewd enough to tailor his reactions to a certain amount based on others' language or facial expressions. The face he just made was something else altogether, though. Maybe it was all in my head. Even so, the look I saw on his face for a split second really, really bothered me. Unfortunately, Yanagi Brewery haven't received a single order from the residents in question since then. Yanagi said he'd inform us as soon as an order came in, so it was only a matter of time. And as impatient as we were, all we could do was wait for the time being. Yoichi and I spent our days serving at Yanagi Brewery like usual, while Kuga patrolled the area. I guess we are lucky that a strong Blightfall like the Kamakiri hasn't shown up. There was no guarantee the situation will last forever, though. A powerful Blightfall could appear tomorrow, even. And all we can do is wait, but boy am I antsy.
There you are.
Yoichi entered through the back door and beckoned me over. What's up?
Buttercup, you have the day off tomorrow, right? Meet me at the dojo.
Sure? I didn't understand, but agreed anyway.
See you tomorrow, then. I'll be keeping a close eye on you, so come early.
Yoichi quickly left the room without another word, leaving me alone and confused. Dojo? Keep a close eye? Oh, right. I finally remembered. We made plans to train together next time we had a day off. Training with Yoichi tomorrow. No, the day we go on a date. An exciting scenario, but we saw it as nothing more than an activity that we needed to do as a fake couple. Thinking of it that way filled me with a sense of duty. Either way, I'm glad he'll be watching me train. I'll view this as a positive. Early the next morning, I came to the dojo as promised. Yoichi was already there, doing some warm-ups of his own. Good morning, Yoichi. Morning. Hurry up and do your warm-ups. Okay. I stood across from Yoichi just like always and copied his movements. Careful now. Bending forwards, I spread my open palms out and tried to touch my fingertips to the floor. Even this was hard for me at first. It's gotten much easier thanks to all the practice I've done. According to Yoichi, I'll be able to lay my upper body on the ground with my legs spread apart like him if I would kept practicing. My upper body on the ground. I glanced sideways and saw him lying against the ground, not straining in the slightest. What? Not sexy enough for a date? No, not at all. I'm actually relieved to see you being yourself. Being myself, huh? I thought he quipped back that being himself wasn't really a thing since he was a vessel, but he didn't press me any further. The focus on warming up right now anyways. After coming to that conclusion, I got even more gung-ho about my warm-up exercises. What? Not sexy enough for you? That's enough warming up. Let's get started. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it! Yoichi stood in a relaxed position. Although he might have seemed unprepared at first glance, I had a hunch that he could attack from any angle. I don't see any openings. I could turn my body in a different direction and attack Yoichi, but he'll definitely block me. First, I need to get to where my opponent can't do anything. Yoichi wasn't just going to stand there, of course. When he saw me coming for him, he grabbed my wrist and attempted to stop me. Just gotta relax my knees to drop my center of gravity, turn my back, and then... I used being captured to my advantage and turned his body in the other direction. This reversed our positions, allowing me to attack Yoichi from behind. Nice one. It was embarrassing to hear him give me genuine praise. I've been practicing as hard as I can on my own. I told you earlier. I'm impressed you stuck with it. Thank you. What's going on? He's being kind of nice to me today. I wondered if something good had happened to him, while another voice in my head immediately denied it. Even if something did happen, Yoichi's mood probably had nothing to do with it. Maybe he's starting to like me? Yoichi had said before that any vessels who've been kind to me were only giving me the reaction I wanted out of them. Which I'd be happy about since I'm talking about Yoichi here. It was entirely possible he just gave me the response I wanted for once because I was putting serious effort into training. Like the carrot and stick kind of approach. He always acts like he can't be bothered, but he takes coaching me in martial arts very seriously. While training with Yoichi, I was suddenly reminded of what happened a few days ago. That reminds me, he seemed a bit off when we talked about that samurai daughter the other day. He's the same as ever today, though. He said it was nothing. Maybe it was just my imagination? I shouldn't have been thinking about stuff like that during training. Huh? I felt light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather. Before I knew it, I was on the floor. Not sure what had just happened. I blinked and saw Yoichi peering down at me, looking exasperated. I haven't been focusing at all. He pointed at me, so I replied, I was thinking about you, Yoichi, or I'm sorry. Yoichi! Oh, his is red! Woo! They are the power. Oh my god, they're the Powerpuff Girls.
Or any combination of red, blue, and green. Like Karma, Nagisa, and Kaede.
He pointed at me, so I replied, I was thinking about you, Yoichi. I was thinking about you, Yoichi.
Which was true. I was. Yoichi would realize if I was lying the second I tried. With that in mind, I decided to come clean. Listen, you're not normally supposed to say that right to someone's face, you know?
Really? But it's true.
God, you're embarrassing. I love that you're being straight with me instead of coming up with a strange lie that he says he love it.
Wait, you love?
I get right to the point too. It's less hassle that way, which I like.
Oh, gotcha.
Now that I understood, I remember what I just said all over again.
He's right.
It's probably not something you should say to someone. Embarrassed, I found myself feeling a bit awkward.
Alright, now that that's settled.
No, it's not. It's fine because we're training right now. But what would have you done in a real fight? Blightfall aren't going to wait around politely for you. You've been having issues with thinking in the middle of battles for a while now.
Yeah, I agree.
All I could do was nod because he was right. Honestly, take a page out of the Vessels book. Vessels are able to focus on what's in front of them without letting themselves get distracted by pointless thoughts.
Well, easier said than done.
I couldn't bring myself to agree with his opinion, however. I deserve his warning, and I get what he's saying, but still. I can't say I agree that thinking about Yoichi was pointless.
I guess that's what separates humans and vessels. Felt like he just told me what differentiated humans from vessels, which made me kind of sad.
Soup, you listening?
Yoichi peered into my face as he said this. Now's my chance. Pulled Yoichi by the arm since he let down his guard and pinned him to the ground.
And she straddled him to keep him from running away and firmly, girl. He's like, huh. Wow, he's stunned. He sure looks stunned. Huh?
This might have been the first time I ever seen him look at me this way, with his eyebrows slightly higher up than usual, I think.
Maybe.
I must have done a good job if I get to see him make this face.
You seem awfully pleased with yourself.
Yep, I caught you by surprise. You let down your guard even though you said you weren't done training yet, so I knocked you down to the ground. You said I should follow the vessel's example, but humans can act after perceiving a momentary lapse in attention too. It must have been because I found myself in the unthinkable position of looking down on Yoichi. Found myself speaking rather triumphantly.
Wow, look at you tooting your own horn. You're right. You turned the tides on me because I let my guard down. That's on me for not announcing that we were done, but do you realize it? Oh god, he's gonna mess with her about it. Oh my god. But do you realize the situation we're in now?
Huh? Of course I do. You let down your guard and I pinned you.
That's not what I mean. Yoichi began to speak before I could ask what he meant. Anyway, you look at it. Seems like you're forcing yourself. Any way you look at it, it looks like you're forcing yourself on me.
Forcing?
What are you so shocked about? You're grabbing me by the wrist and straddling me, forcing yourself on me?
True.
Panicked, I let go of his arms but stayed on top of him.
If anyone else saw us like this, there would be a huge uproar.
We're all alone right now, but there was no telling when someone might come into the dojo.
I'll move right now.
Fortunately, I was the one doing the pinning. I wasn't bound or anything, meaning I could escape right away. However, not so fast. Yoichi reached out with both hands and grabbed my head. What?
Yeah, Yoichi?
I tried to shake him off and run away, but he was so incredibly strong that I couldn't break free. If anyone were to see this, Yoichi would be in huge trouble too. He's just using me as insect repellent. Maybe I should think of it as a good way to further increase our credibility? Yeah, there's nothing more I could do. Helpless, I stopped struggling. For some reason, Yoichi looked outside. Guess Yoichi's worried someone might come along too? However, it only lasted for a split second. He looked directly at me once more. My heart skipped a beat, seeing Yoichi's handsome face so close to mine.
Yoichi?
What? He smiled so softly at me, leaving me so nervous I couldn't follow up with anything else. While I sat there and at a complete loss for what to do, he pulled away one of his hands, pressing my head down.
Not her! It should have been me! Yoichi!
Then he let his hand fall, stroking my cheek with his finger.
What?
Cute. Didn't know you could make noises like that. Okay.
Wait.
I felt a tickle in the back of my throat and a chill run down my spine.
It tickles.
Yeah? Yoichi smiled fondly, like he'd just heard something good.
Uh-oh, I think I kicked the hornet's nest.
My secret was out. Yoichi began to attack, zeroing in.
Keep it together.
I desperately tried to take it, but what can I say? It tickled.
Oh, I love how her portrait
is jiggling around. It's cute. Yoichi sighed in exasperation when he saw me burst into laughter. Not sexy at all.
Dude, do you have like a scent? I guess you can like look at things like, yeah, that thing's attractive. But as a vessel, could they even? Well, I know you break free from being a vessel and shit, but are they even able to see things as sexy?
If sexy is what you want, I'm not sure I can help. I'm not. If you're not, then guess I'll make you.
Yoit! What?
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 What? Those disturbing words gave me a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Which proved right.
What? Oh. Soup? What?
Yoichi touched my bottom lip with his.
What is he doing?
Didn't quite tickle. It felt like my entire spine was jittery. Knowing this could be bad, I tried to turn away only for Yoichi to pinch my cheek.
Ow!
That's what you get for not sitting still. He's being so unreasonable. Go back to the scene. He kept one hand near my cheek so he can pinch me at any time while laying the other one near my lips. You're cute now that I'm looking. You're cute now that I'm looking at.
Dude, is anyone here? Are there people here? Is that why you're doing this? What the fuck?
If I were human, I might have fallen in love. Nope, because he wouldn't be able to say that if there was. Yeah. If I were a human, I might have fallen in love with you.
Love?
Was this really the Yoichi I knew? There's no need for him to act here. Does he really mean it? I had no idea what's been going through Yoichi's mind when he said that just now. Do you really think I enjoy him saying that? I don't even like Yoichi like that, though. Would you fall in love with me, even though I'm a vessel? While I was deep in thought, Yoichi got so close our lips were almost touching. If I moved even the slightest amount, I might kiss him by accident.
Me? Kiss Yoichi?
My heart was pounding harder than ever. Although vessels had their hearts and memories sealed away, they looked like human men on the outside. Forcing himself on me like this made me keenly aware he was a member of the opposite sex.
I can't do this anymore!
You started it. Sorry, I got carried away. I couldn't move my face, so I gave him a sincere apology to show him how sorry I felt. Glad you understand. Be careful next time.
I will. It seems he finally felt like forgiving me once he heard my heartfelt apology. When I saw his hands flop down, I stood up in a hurry. Hup! Yoichi stood up too, then calmly wiped the dirt off his clothes like nothing had even happened in the first place. Something about what just happened doesn't sit right with me. Then Kuga, is he messing with Kuga? Then Kuga's been out on patrol appeared. Everything going well? No tomfoolery going on here. Kuga! A huge smile spread across my face, seeing him show up just in time. What happened? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all! Yeah, it must have surprised him it must have surprised him for me to look all happy to see him all of a sudden. Is that right? Well, I've been watching you train, and I've been watching the whole time. Huh? Any problems? No. Did Kuga see what just happened? There's a height and weight difference between the two of you. Moving Yoichi by repositioning your body is no simple feat. Good job! Why are you wrestling? What's this? Kuga, did you only watch the beginning of her training? Oh, I suppose so. I see. So he didn't see it. The entire Oniwaba knew we were in a fake relationship, but that wasn't exactly something I wanted to show them per se. I was relieved. Beside me, Yoichi, now acting like his usual self, asked Kuga a question. So why'd you go out of your way to come watch? Are you a pervert? A voyeur? No particular reason. But now that you put me on the spot, I wanted to pay Soup a compliment. Me? Right. I wasn't sure what might happen when you initially asked us to show you how to fight, but you've really been coming along. You're an impressive asset in your own sight. I'll be counting on you for help going forward. Thank you. It made me so happy to get a stamp of approval from Kuga, a samurai. I guess the solo crash course I've been doing plus the instruction from Yoichi paid off after all. Still stirred up, Kuga looked back at Yoichi. And you're her master, right? Anything you'd like to say to your disciple? Do I really need to? What's the point if I'm being forced to say something? She won't know unless you tell her, though. Well, whatever. Guess I should. Yoichi sighed, clearly bothered, before looking at me dead in the eyes. Tell her something nice. Come on, buddy. What is he going to say? Heart racing away for Yoichi to speak. You got decent potential. Keep it up. Yay! That is really great praise from him. Okay, I will. It did feel like he was being forced, but a compliment from Yoichi made me happy all the same. Could you say it one more time? I'd be even more motivated to... No. Aw, don't say that. Pretty please. Absolutely not. He turned away in a huff, and my shoulders drooped in disappointment. But I have a praise fetish. Praise kink, I mean. Not fetish. Not only did Yoichi give me a compliment, he even told me to keep it up. It might not be much, but I do feel like we're getting closer from working at the same place and having him as my martial arts master. Partially thanks to Yoichi's encouragement, the sword training we did afterwards ended on a good note. Okay! Lordy, I think this is where I'm gonna stop it for tonight. My voice is starting to get a little tired. I'm getting a little sore. No, I didn't. I didn't save. I'm sorry, Genduro. Gonna get rid of your save slot. Bye, Genduro. Okay. But dang, I have not expected his route to be like that.